Hello, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk to you about building a team for your cosplay because I know better than anyone that even though you have the correct mind for it, the imagination for wanting to do a certain cosplay, given certain circumstances, if that is your case, you will need help. Some more than others, and that's just fine. But depending on what you want to do, you're going to need yourself a team. See, if the first part is you want to draw up plans for what you want to do, see, that way people will be able to understand more. Like, for example, if you want to do, let's say, a couch or a chair with your head sticking out of it, you're going to need to draw up some plans to show people what exactly is in your mind. And so you'll need to find someone, whether it be a friend or even someone more, I don't necessarily want to say professional, someone who draws really, really well. Or even if you can tell someone that uses computers really well, you can tell them to figure out, ask them, not tell them, to see if they can create your idea using the computer. Probably a little easier to use like pens or pencils, colored pencils, things like that. But your ideas are your ideas, and I'll leave you to that. So next you want to figure out if you want to build it out of wood or more sturdy metal. So depending on which material you want to use, you're going to want to figure out, okay, so who do I know who's good with wood? Who do I know who's good with working with metal? And you want to give them a call because you're going to want to do it yourself. Give them a call, contact them yourself. Because otherwise, they wouldn't know it's your idea if you have someone else do it. And if that, and you're not comfortable with that, you can maybe find a friend who can get that number for you, and you can maybe text or, things like that. I've done that before, and so I know how you feel. Then you want to show them what you came up with, your design, and then they might have better ideas of how to figure out how to do it around what you are dealing with. Whether, like I said before, it be a wheelchair or a walker or crutches, whatever you're dealing with, they will be able to figure out how to work around that. That I can promise you. And you'll need to meet with them depending on how far in advance you contact them. You'll want to meet with them, well, no matter how far in advance, you'll want to meet with them quite often. Because plan A might not work, plan B might not work, sometimes even plan C, D, or E won't be able to work. Whether it be, let's say you're working outside and all of a sudden some wind comes up and a part of your cosplay falls over and it breaks. You'll be out of luck. That would be a vital part, and you'll have to either start over again or adjust for that missing part. It may work a bit better if it's working with metal. I'm talking with that example. I'm talking about wood. It may work better if you're talking about working with metal because it's more sturdy. But on the other hand, it's a bit more, possibly a bit more cumbersome, you could say, or sometimes it'll be hard to cut the metal in the right shapes or designs you want, but my point is you're going to need to find a team. And even if you want designs on your cosplay, like for example an insignia or something on the back of your cosplay, whatever it be, you'll either want to find a painter, or I guess you could use the same artist that you use when you were drawing up your ideas. I I've used all those examples. Well, no, except for the metal. I haven't done that yet. I'm not entirely brave enough to work with the metal part yet. I've only been doing this for a few years, but I've gotten good enough at explaining my ideas, I guess you could say, that working with wood has been so far, other than some bad bad luck over here once, it's been good to me. People have, and people will for you. They would come to talk to you. They would say, "Oh, that's great. I wish I could come up with that. How did you come up with that? That's awesome. You should do this with that." Things like that. And it'll lift you up. It'll make you feel better. Yeah, I came up with this idea. I'm smart. You can do as much. You can try, I guess, to do as much as you can on your own, depending on your circumstances. And I would almost recommend that first, doing what you can on your own. Because, like I was saying before, you'll feel better about yourself because not only did you come up with the idea yourself, you've come up with this part and this part and this part on your own. You've built this part, you've drawn this part, you've, if the if it calls for it, maybe sewing. I cannot myself, but again, my circumstances are different than yours, so I would highly recommend doing as much as you can on your own with people close by, so you can, if something goes wrong with what you are doing yourself, you can quickly get someone, "Hey, can you help me fix this?" "Yeah, sure, no problem." You aren't alone when you're doing these cosplays. Some people might not get it, but if they're your friends, even if they're just acquaintances, they'll understand that it's important to you. And if it's important to you, they'll want to help you out. I can't remember even how many I've had try to help me figure out and or build my cosplays. I was trying to come up with another word, but no, cosplays. And the more you have on your team, on your crew, whatever you want to call it, the better off you are. I've worked with groups of like maybe 2 or 3 before. I've worked with one before. I've Most of them have been really quite successful. And it's because there's more than one mind on the project. So, you know, yeah, do as much as you can on your own, because here's another reason. If you're going to a comic convention where you dress up and have fun, they have competitions. And a big part of the rules is you have to do this much yourself. And I've been talking with some people about one of mine and figuring out how to get that all arranged. It's already done and built. I've already done it before. But I've only come up with the ideas. I have helped, or I've had help with pretty much every other aspect. I've picked out certain materials for it. I've, like I was saying, contacted other people to do this part for me. And, this part and this part. But in my mind, I was doing quite a lot myself. I came up with the idea. I didn't necessarily draw up some plans, but I found pictures of what I wanted to do. That's a good one too. Find pictures. If you can't necessarily draw or can't find any artist friends, find pictures like on the internet, say. And you can show them to give them an idea of what you kind of give the others an idea of what you kind of want to do. And then, again, going back and forth. Well, how about we do this? Well, how about we do this? That's not quite going to work, so let's do this. I'm not entirely a fan of this, but I am of this. Let's probably do this. You're back and forth. And the teamwork builds more, I don't know if you want to say trust, but it sure builds friendship. Because they get to know you, you get to know them more, and that's really what you want. You want to build I guess, relationship. Not in that way, but you know what I mean. And so, it's just an all-around great experience, Because, here's a good one too. Because other people will see you working on this project and they'll get interested too. Not necessarily interested in doing that for this, but they might come and ask, that's interesting, what are you doing? And then you'll explain, well, I'm into this, and because I'm into this, I'm doing this for this. And they'll be like, huh, I think I know someone that is a fan of that, likes to do that for fun. Well, hey, let's get to know each other then. And maybe not, that one may not be interested in doing things like that, but they, like I said, they may know someone else, which then they'll get in touch with them, who will get in touch with you, and it's just a beautiful experience. It might seem silly or weird or sometimes maybe awkward, but it's a great way to get to know people. It's a great way to come together and honestly forget your problems for, I don't know, a while. And just relax and have fun with each other. It might seem like playing around, and that's a good thing because if you're having fun, it doesn't seem like work. And you get a whole lot more out of it when you're enjoying it and with others that are enjoying it themselves too. You know? And so, I guess what I'm trying to say is with building your team, your crew, it's has to do with teamwork. And teamwork is a good thing. Like I said before, teamwork builds trust, builds confidence, because sometimes we all think, I can't do this. This one's too hard. I don't know how to do this. But see, if you have people with you, then when you put your minds together, you can come up with some great things. And even you might realize that with some people and yourself, that great minds think alike. And so I'm I'm kind of still learning that myself, even though I've been at this for a while. I'm still kind of learning it myself, but depending on what you're doing, what you're learning, hmm, I'm going to sound like a teacher here, but learning is fun. Depending on the situation. So, again, like I say in all these videos, don't give up, don't quit. If something gets kind of hard, find someone to help out. Sometimes you can not necessarily disagree, but disagree with other ideas. And depending on who you're working with, you might butt heads with them. And that happens a lot. I won't lie, that does happen a lot. But because that happens, if that happens, you can't give up. Find another way to do it, relax, and things will work out. I'm proof of that. And no, I'm not trying to say I'm better than you, and I like to talk about myself, but I'm just saying I know where you're at. I know what you're dealing with. But I don't let that get me down. I just continue. Something goes wrong, I pick myself up and try again. Try something different. So, nothing is impossible if you stick your mind to it and just have fun with it, and the ideas will come, and you'll have more fun with your team, whomever it is, whatever it is, and everything we find, and you'll find success. Whether it be you're happy that it's completed, you're happy that people like seeing you in that specific outfit, because like I said, like they'll compliment you. They'll they'll say, "Well done, good job," things like that. And I think I said this in another video once, but sometimes you'll get, "So, what are you dressed up as?" And you'll strike up a conversation. And so it's a it's a worthwhile hobby, experience, general fun, you know. And the more you do it, the more fun it gets, the easier it will get, trust me, depending on who you have on your team. And it gets better and better every single time. It will. It does. And I just wanted to just give you that advice in this video. And I'll leave you with that. My name is Corey, and this has been Wheels Warrior Cosplay. Thank you.